In this video, I'm going to, yeah, this is the right place. I'm going to try to explain all the mountain parameters and how they affect the shape of the snow. I already have a selected seed here. This is a mountain that I'm familiar with, and all I'm going to do is change the parameters and explain what they do. So the size is the general height and probably girth. I don't know what else is calculated into there, but the size is pretty self-explanatory. The higher the number, the bigger the mountain. Steepness, also self-explanatory, how steep the steep parts are. Yep. Generally near this has the greatest effect near the top of the mountain. Ruggedness, this is how many rocks and how aggressive the rock faces are. If you have a higher ruggedness level, the rock faces are much bigger and more common. Powder, this affects the depth of the powder. A higher number is a greater depth. I've found that anything greater than 0 is a little bit too deep for my particular taste, since it makes traveling across shallow grades very, very slow going. Wind, this affects, basically it creates snow dunes at and near the top of the mountain. This is 0 is smoother, no snow dunes. This is bigger and more snow dunes. I'm going to go with 1. Or, yeah, 1. I'm going to go with 1 and see how that turns out. Trees, this is the tree density. Ruggedness, I'm going to go down to 5 actually for ruggedness. And tree density, the higher the number, more trees. That's pretty obvious. Alright, so I already have a seed selected, one I'm familiar with, and I'm going to create this new mountain. I'm going to change the name to MTN2E6. MTN2 is mountain 2, the second mountain second mountain seed I think I've created, and edit number 6, meaning I've created up to 5 mountains with the same seed with different parameters, and I'm trying to find the parameters that I particularly like. I'm just explaining my naming method so that I can know what version of what mountain I've created is just by looking at it, at the name. Alright, so I'm going to create the mountain. And this may take a while. I have another video called carving down my very own mountain. It sounds childish, it's supposed to, because it's kind of a simple pleasure. Not very, it wasn't like an aggressive run or anything, it was just carving down the mountain. And in that video you might notice, if you watch it, you might notice the aggressive snow dunes at the top of the mountain. I'm hoping at 1 the snow dunes aren't so aggressive, but they are still there, making the terrain more interesting to carve through. A plain snow slope is fairly boring, since you could just bomb straight down it with nothing to carve around, unless you place objects yourself. But I want something to carve around without manually placing in objects. So I'm putting in a little bit of ruggedness and some some wind to affect the snow dunes. So these little rocks here, these are affected by ruggedness level. There's more of these little. I'm assuming these are supposed to simulate rocks under snow, and this is just a rock, obviously. And these are the number of these are affected by the ruggedness level, as well as the commonness. The higher the number, the more common these rock faces are. These big rock faces are. The higher the ruggedness number. or more, I shouldn't say the more common, but more aggressive these rock faces are. And so I attempted to record a video previously. Oh wait, I'm going to talk about the snow dunes first. So these little ridges here like this, these are the snow dunes. This line that goes across like this, that's a snow dune, as well as this one. So one is pretty aggressive actually, meaning there's a lot of these, but 0 there's practically none, and it makes it kind of boring to carve. But anyway, in a previous attempt to record a video, I didn't press record, which was dumb. This rock face was very aggressive. I had a higher ruggedness level, and I had a wind level of 0, and all this was just plain snow, kind of boring to ride through. And I think I had a higher ruggedness level, but this seems pretty good at what it is. Also, in that previous attempt to record a video, this did not have a gap here. This was just rocks across this entire thing right here. However, the seed seems to dictate the shape of the mountain, and this hump here, this little path, is always with the seed that I've chosen, is always here. This is the only this is the only piece of terrain that I'm familiar with. I mean, there's probably other things that are always there also, but this is the only one that I've been paying attention to, as well as that little top of the peak up there behind the helicopter. That's always there also. All right, I think that's enough explaining. I'm going to drop in and carve down to the bottom. This might get boring if you're not interested in just carving. All right, so this is one of those rocks under snow. It seems like it makes the terrain more interesting to ride through. And this is right here is a snow dune. That's what it looks like if you turn wind down to 0. Those won't be there at all. They'll just be round, perfectly round humps. And if you turn wind level higher, they're more common and more aggressive. They're even bigger. And what happens if you have a wind level that's too high is that you have these humps, like even this hump I won't be able to make it up, but there'll be a bunch of wind dunes that you can get stuck inside a pocket of, or it just crests and you can't get out of it because it's steep on all sides. And there's no way to caveman off the snowboard, which would be nice. It's supposed to be like skate, but they don't have a like caveman off your board or something. Anyway, yeah, this is the terrain that the parameters have created. I'm just heading over to this hump over here that I always end up going to because it seems like the only way down, or the easiest way down anyway. It's a marker for me to know where I'm going. So I'm gonna try and just carve around these bits and try not to get too much air in the steep part, because if you get air, like I'll try to get air here. If you get air on the steep part, there's you get huge air, and I don't want to be doing that. You're just basically flying down the mountain. I just want to carve. I think I just jumped everything interesting anyway. So I'm gonna work my way down to the base. Yeah, see, when there's no terrain to move, oh, there we go, there's something. When there's no terrain to carve around, you can just bomb down the mountain, and it seems kind of, to me anyway, boring. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, nope. That grab again. See if I can do a 360 off of this. There we go. Oh, nope, 540. It's really tough to control the spin charge. You have to hold it for a real short time to... Oh, that was too much. Another 540. Let's see, so charge, release, grab. Okay, nope. See, it's really fast. Whoa! See, that's what happens if you hit one of these snow bumps on the steeps. the steep slope. So I'm trying to dodge those things. I don't know where the rock face is. I'm going to try and avoid them, as I don't want to end up falling down a rock face. So I think I'm going to go this way. This looks clear. And do a little spin. There we go. 180. Whoa. Whoa. I'm trying to keep the tricks simple because I'm not very good at judging how much spin and how to land properly. Yeah, so oh, I've noticed the tree density, if it's much higher than 7, it becomes difficult to traverse the tree area, which you may want. I don't know. But you can also clear trees with the world editor. I'm going to try and make my way across this mountain to a channel over here. Here's a good channel. Oh, it's kind of narrow. I'm looking for a big channel that seems to trend over on this side of the mountain. This is good enough. So if you notice how easy it was to traverse that, I mean, not just the tree-wise, but the snow. With the powder level much higher than 1, it becomes really, really difficult to traverse shallow grades. With like even this would be even slower with a deeper powder level, and you'd essentially have to groom everything to gain any speed. Like especially if you were coming across this with a powder level of 10, you'd have no speed whatsoever. So it seems I didn't find a good channel. Oh, there's a rock. Oh, okay. Yep, that happened. All right. Here's a good channel to carve down. So I was going to say, even this right now, if I had a snow level of 10, it would be hard to traverse without grooming it. And so essentially, if you have a snow level of 10, you're going to have to groom basically everything, and that is a lot of work. I have another video where I groom a path, and it takes an hour to groom the path and make sure it's right. I groom actually several paths, but still, it takes. Imagine grooming an entire resort's worth of channels like this. It would literally take almost real-time man hours to groom the entire thing. So I'm stuck here on a flat part. So you can do a little nollie to kind of hop through the snow. try to do a little 360 here. Oh, nope. Didn't time it right. Now 540 on flat ground. That's pretty intense. So even with the powder level at 0, it's really tough to get across these flat parts. There's the main channel I was looking for, by the way. It's a lot farther than I expected. So that means this is part of the main channel also, right here. But I'm basically down at the base. There we go. I can revert when I don't want to, but it's tough for me to revert when I want to. Let's see. There we go. You can do it that way. There we go. Alright, well, that was it. I think I've explained everything that I can think of. And that's the end. Till the next one.